we've seen how a user could generate a JWT, actually JWTs on behalf of a user when he logs in. So right now we're going to we can start making authenticated requests with this token. But there are some stuff we need to consider before we wire up any function to make an authenticated request. For instance, I've gone ahead to do this. I have a function, an endpoint called to do, where a user needs to create a to do, and such a user needs to be authenticated by passing in a bearer token, and this is the token the user needs to pass in. From our application, we need to extract this token from the header, from the request header. We need to verify the token. We need to also extract the token metadata. Remember the metadata we used while creating the token, such as the UUIDs and the user ID. So we'll need to have some helper functions to help us extract the token, verify the token, and get the metadata. So there are three functions that we need to consider. This can be done in one function, but I decided to split it into three for clarity. These are the functions I've gone ahead to define that will need to extract the JWT. The first one is the one that actually extracts the JWT. The second one is the one that verifies the token, and the third one is the one that extracts the token metadata. From the very first one, we used passing the request header. We pass in the request. Then from the request, we got the authorization header. Then we decided to get the token from the authorization header. Now this is how the token normally, the header normally looks like. We have something like okay, let's go back to the postman, where we have the bearer. You could see here we have the bearer and the token, so there is a space between the bearer and the token. That was why we splitted this into we splitted the bearer token using this separator. So from there, we need to get the token as the second argument. So we return the token here. Then the next function is the one that actually verify if the token is valid or not. So this function we call the extract token here, and we passed validate and return the token. So we are going to check the signing method used here. Then the next one is the one that actually extract the token metadata. That's where we also need to call the verify token. Now we went ahead to define a struct called access details. This struct will have the access UUID and the user's ID. These are the exact stuff we need from the token. Remember, we passed them here. Let's take a look at the create token function again. We have the access UUID and we also have the user's ID. So these are the stuff we've passed earlier. I think I need to fix. Okay, yeah, everything is correct. So these are the stuff we passed earlier in while we are creating the token. So let us get both of them. So you could see that we went ahead to get the user's ID here. First of all, we got the UUID, the access UUID, which is of type string. If there's an error getting the UUID, we return an error. We also try to get the user's ID, like so, which is of type int64. We converted the string from the request to int64. So when we get the user's ID, we now need to return these access details, passing in the values we got, the access UUID and the user's ID. So when we return that, if there is no error, we return nil as the error. So these three helper functions have helped us extracted the token, verify the token, and return the token metadata. So right now we are ready to start making authenticated requests. So we are going to be using these three functions in the next in the forthcoming tutorials to make authenticated requests. And until then, see you, and make sure you subscribe, like, and share the videos.